What I'll also tell you is that Agent Mulder has developed a consuming devotion to an unassigned project outside the Bureau mainstream. Are you familiar with the so-called X-Files?
Welcome everybody to the Dark Talk Files, episode 10, Fallen Angel. I am your host Dan, and I'm joined by my FBI bro, Paul. How's it going, Paul?
Why did you say fallen angel so seductively then? You were like, this fallen angel.
It's my dulcet tones. I'm practicing for a career in radio, so I'm trying to get a smooth, silky sounding voice.
Oh, yeah. I am very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I was just fantasizing about an actual career in radio then when you said that. I thought, oh yeah, that'd be sweet, broadcasting live from my compound in the middle of Wales.
That would be lovely, Dan. If that ever happens, I'll be a guest on your show.
Yeah.
Or I can be a stalker, and I'll just like ring into the show all the time and fuck around with you, and then
yeah, put on a different voice each time.
Yeah, I'll be like, la, blah, blah, blah.
And at the end of every story, you can be like, and then I need about tree fitty. What's that one about? Sorry, what's that one on Reddit where there was this guy and he used to tell all these stories, and they'd be these long stories, and they'd be quite really interested. And at the end, the twist would always be that his dad was beating him with jumper cables. Don't you remember that?
No.
Like he would always post under different usernames, and it'd be like, oh yeah, it'd be like, am I the asshole or something like that? And it'd be this big conversation at the end. It'd be like, yeah, so anyway, my dad ended up beating me with his jumper cables.
I don't know that, but I might have to find it. Phone-ins, live TV phone-ins. I remember when I was a kid, I was watching Live and Kicking, and Peter Andre was on it, and I was watching this like live as it happened on my sofa with my fucking Nesquik cereal, and someone phoned in. They were like, yeah, I just got a question for Peter, and they was like, all right, go ahead. And he's like, yeah, why are you such a cunt, or something like that. No, sorry about that. This is what happens with live TV. I don't know if he said exactly those words, but you can probably find it online. But I remember pissing myself when I was a kid listening to that. One
of my favourites as a classic is that time AJ Styles was on the radio and somebody was like, oh, AJ, what's it like being such a massive figure in the gay community? And obviously his reaction, the gay community!
The gay community.
Fucking Huckleberry Hound voice to his.
I remember talking about that on our way to London a couple of years ago. Was it a couple of years ago? Last year, I don't know. I'd fucking laughing my ass off. Talking about that then. It'll never be not be funny to me. God.
Yeah, so here we are. Fallen Angel, Myth Arc episode. Finally!
Yeah, fucking hell. It's been too long.
It has been too long, yeah. I mean, I count Conduit as a Myth Arc episode, so... But yeah...
I do as well.
It's still been too long, even with that.
Before we go on, have you ever drank Earl Grey tea?
Yes.
So this is the first Earl Grey tea I've ever drank in my life, and it's really weird tasting. It tastes like lemon.
Yeah, it's you haven't put milk in it, have you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're not supposed to.
Oh. Well, I've been having a bit of work done in the house for the past 3 months, and every single fucking person who came, I gave them a cup of that with milk in it. And it's fucking gross. They must have been like, oh, this guy can't make a cup of tea for shit. I don't really drink tea, though.
Squeezing lemons into the tea.
This fucking guy squeezing lemons into my tea. I don't really drink tea, so I'm a coffee guy. So sorry, I had a swig and I had to mention it because I know you're quite into your tea, and I thought I'd ask.
I do love a bit of chai.
Ooh, I love a chai.
Souchong. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know any of the others. I do like a chai.
Yeah. So we're here with the Myth Arc episode, Fallen Angel, the first one since Deep Throat episode 2. It's been 8 episodes of Monster of the Week.
Yeah, I'd still count Conduit, but
yeah,
officially, that's me and you. Yeah, me. That's a me and you kind of pref, isn't it?
Yeah. I still consider Conduit.
But it's been too long anyway. We've needed the continuation of this arc.
Yeah, we need to get into some conspiracies. I want to see the army covering shit up, and that's what we got.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll get into it then. Pre-credits, there is a huge forest fire in Wisconsin, and this deputy arrives at the scene and calls for backup. As he's looking around, the deputy starts seeing some suspicious movements in the trees, like he's been tracked down by a predator. This bit made me laugh. He is absolutely eviscerated by this brilliant white light, which just like, it's like the camera sneaks up on him and he turns around to look at the camera with his big eyes and he's like, no! And the white just destroys him. And I was thinking of you when you were watching Friday the 13th Part 2 on your laptop, and anytime that white fade out would come on, it would just...
Yeah, just fucking blast my retinas. Shit. It's like, it'd be like that Malcolm in the Middle episode, you know, where they get lit up by the sky by those fireworks. It's like daytime.
And then he's like, oh, when do you think our eyesight will turn? And Francis is like, oh yeah, the box said about 3 days. Fucking love that.
That's why I was like in my bedroom like at 2 a.m. My missus is asleep next to me. It's just like fucking Friday the 13th.
Yeah, so we're at this military base in Colorado, and their radar picks up an unidentified flying object which has crashed at 900 miles an hour into Wisconsin. The man in charge is
fucking fast.
It's pretty fucking fast, yeah. The man in charge is Colonel Henderson, and he's played by Marshall Bell. What do we recognise Marshall Bell from? What's the first thing you recognise this dude from?
This episode of the
Really?
X-Files.
So he is the bad guy in Twins.
Oh, no. He's the bad guy. Twins. I haven't seen Twins before. Hey.
He's in Starship Troopers. So in Starship Troopers, he is the commander of the abandoned base that they find. They find him hiding in the closet, and when Michael Ironside turns up, he's like, look, Do you remember him?
No.
He is in Stand By Me.
I did. He did look familiar to me, but I couldn't think of Total Recall.
Yeah, Total Recall as well.
Total Recall.
So he's the dad from Stand By Me. He's John Cusack and Will Wheaton's dad, and he loves John Cusack, but then he dies, doesn't he? And then he's like really shitty to Will Wheaton.
Yeah. All right, okay.
And also, what I recognise him from as well was he's the paedophile gym teacher in A Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Is he?
Yeah, you know the guy from Nightmare on Elm Street 2 goes to the gay club, and then he bumps into his PE teacher.
Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah.
And then he takes him back to the school to like rape him.
To rape him.
Well, he does. He like takes him back to school to like ties him up.
Yeah. Coach Schneider.
I can't wait to cover A Nightmare on Elm Street 2 on the main feed. Such a good film.
It's great, isn't it? I love it. Nightmare series is possibly my favourite series. Like close to Halloween, but yeah, I can't wait to cover that.
Yeah, so Marshall Bell plays Colonel Henderson, and he is covering up this UFO crash, and he tells his underlings that it was a meteor that crashed and not a UFO.
Definitely not a UFO. It may have been a UFO while it was airbound, but now we know that it wasn't. It's not a UFO. So we don't want any FBI agents sneaking in to come and figure out what's going on.
Well, unlucky for him, Mulder's already on the case. He's Mulder flying solo here. He's staying at a motel in Wisconsin, and he's been informed by Deep Throat there's some sketchy UFO shit is going on. UFOs crashed, and they've sent Operation Falcon, which is a crash retrieval unit, and Mulder has 24 hours to get to the site if he wants to find evidence. What do you think of Leather Jacket Mulder here?
I love it. Yeah, he's Tom Cruise in his way around this place. Hiding under cars, like hanging under it. He appears when it drives away. I love all that shit. Yeah,
I know, yeah.
And it's like Mulder showing off that he's actually a very physical, capable fucking agent. He could probably the way he's acting, he'd probably take out so many people.
No, I was just going to say, I wonder if they would ever have considered David Duchovny for the Mission Impossible series if he wasn't tied to the X-Files.
Yeah, maybe. Well, yeah.
Nah,
if he wasn't,
he's not an A-lister like Tom Cruise, is he? Fuck Tom Cruise up.
Do you want us to get sued by Tom Cruise as well as Boeing?
So I was just going to say, fuck it, we're already being sued by Boeing, so... Yeah, so Mulder comes across a security laser fence and he finds Operation Falcon in full force. Henderson is in charge of the recovery effort, and while he's prepping his men, Mulder has managed to sneak into the camp by hiding under that lorry and holding on, which I thought was very funny. I wasn't expecting it. The lorry just pulls up and then Mulder just rolls out from underneath it. Yeah, so he follows the army unit deep into the woods, and they come across the crash site. And there's a bunch of guys in like white hazmat suits spraying the craft, like looking for ET. I was like, oh yeah, it looks really cool. I love the way this craft looks, even though it's like partially buried, but it's really effective.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, I love the suits and everything. Those suits have always been creepy to me.
Yeah,
like one example is Truman Show. You know, when he's finally nearly trying to escape, and they close it off. There's been like a nuclear leak or something like that. I can't remember what it says. But the cop says, "You're welcome, Truman." It freaks him out. He runs out, and then all the guy in the hazmat suits are chasing him, and you can see it from the camera point of view, like his point of POV shot. Like that scared the fuck out of me as a kid. Like proper scared me. Yeah. And also very unsettling. Yeah. Have you ever seen Flight of the Navigator?
Hell yeah.
Hazmat suits kind of going on in that as well. Ooh, it's spooky. I fucking love it. It's great. I'm going to watch films today that just contain moments with people wearing hazmat suits.
So Mulder takes some pictures of the crashed UFO, but one of the army dudes gets the drop on him, and once again, Mulder loses photographic evidence of alien life. This is like the third time this has happened to him now. He gets taken to Henderson's tent, and Colonel Henderson says that the army are containing an ecological disaster. It's not UFO, it's a train crash that spread toxic waste. And Mulder's like, mate, there's no train tracks anywhere near this place. So they imprison him. They lock him inside. I couldn't decide if this was more like a kennel or a hell in a cell. They lock him in this chain link cage.
Maybe it was a hell in a kennel.
Oh God, remind me that thing exists. But Mulder has a cellmate. This dude is Max Fennig, who is a bit of a geeky UFO dude, and he's got this cap with the initials of like his made-up investigation agency that he works for. Is it NICAP or something like that? NICAP, and Max is basically the president of the Fox Mulder fan club, and Mulder's his idol. And he's extremely excited to meet his hero. He's like, I like this dude. He's really geeky, but he's pretty fucking cool, I think.
I love this guy. So, like, we've spoken about episodes that we remember and stuff. Going into this, the first sort of 10 minutes or whatever, I was like, I don't know if I remember this. And then as soon as I saw that guy, and I do this every time I see this episode, because I remembering my false memory. I was like, here they are, the Lone Rangers guy. Lone Rangers?
The lone gunman.
Fucking hell. Cut that, please. That's very embarrassing. Here are the, I was like, here are the lone gunman dudes. And once he started speaking about his own investigation type company thing, I was like, oh shit, no, it's not. And then I remembered that I've done that multiple times before. And then the episode fully comes back to me then. But yeah, so this guy, Max, I love him. It's great. I'd love to be his friend. I don't feel like he's got many friends, you know.
No, I think he's just got his fellow UFO enthusiast, and
But like, I get the impression that he probably doesn't have many like followers, or he's very much alone in this. That like he is the only member of this thing.
Nightcap or whatever it is.
Yeah. He lives in his van. He just follows Mulder around, and quite a sort of sad life, which no judgment, but I'd like to be friends with him. I'd like to go out for a beer with him, talk about aliens.
Yeah, so Mulder wakes up in the morning and Max is gone. The door opens and Scully walks in. And the way Scully walks into the cage is just very funny. She's just like all in silhouette, and you can see like the shape of her hair. She's like bathed in like heavenly light, but she's just like a mum picking up the kid from detention. She's just like you just from the way she walks in, you know that she's like, oh, for fuck's sake, here we go.
her silhouette, just her silhouette alone, tells you how fucking pissed off she is.
I know,
she's like, you can tell by the shape of her head. It's like she is done with this shit. She is fucking done.
Yeah, so she's been sent from DC to bring Mulder back home, where he's going to be thrown out at the FBI and the X-Files are going to be shut down. Blevins, who we still haven't seen for a long time, his boss is McGrath, who we'll see at the end of the episode. He's reached down over Blevins, and he wants this to happen immediately, and he's using the fact that Mulder's broken several federal laws as his excuse. This is a pissed off man, as we will see later on. I thought Scully was a bit of a dumbass at this point, because Mulder's like, it's a UFO, and he's like, it's a UFO and it's not a toxic waste, there's no train tracks anywhere, and Scully's like, it's not a UFO, but it's not an ecological disaster either. She's like, it's a downed Libyan fighter jet carrying a nuclear warhead, and Mulder's like, what, over US airspace? And like I am inclined to agree with that. How could Scully be so stupid? They're like in the middle of Wisconsin. There's no fucking way a Libyan fighter jet could just fly over all America to get into the middle of the country.
Yeah, it's absolutely preposterous to think that.
That Scully believes that is just really annoyed.
I'm starting to think she doesn't believe. I'm starting to think that she is scared to believe the truth, but the truth is seeping in, especially after the last episode where she actually saw the space ghost.
Yes.
And the truth is seeping in, and with the ice episode as well, like that was literally an alien. So like,
not. They leave it ambiguous.
They
leave it ambiguous if it was an alien or not. But from Scully's perspective, it could have just been an old organ, like a millions of years old organism, which it is. But then whether or not it came from space is left open ended. Yeah.
But she has seen enough at this point, and she knows that the government are shady as shit. I think she's starting to fully believe. I'm telling you, and she's believing her own bullshit here, or she's trying to, like a Libyan jet.
Yeah. So Mulder and Scully get back to his motel room and they find it trashed, and somebody has been going through his shit, and the suspect is still in the bathroom, and they find Max trying to escape through the bathroom window with his legs dangling. It's very funny.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
So Max takes them to his trailer, and I've just got to say, this thing fucking rules. This trailer, I wish I lived in this thing. It's like it's this like
instead of your 3-story house with your wife and kids.
It's like this big silver tube, like, and I wish I could just get in it and just like drive it up to like Yosemite National Park and just like Skywatch and like broadcast and shit. I was like, fucking, I wish I could just midlife crisis. If I have a midlife crisis, I'm not buying a sports car. I'm buying one of those things.
I'll do it with you. We'll have a midlife crisis together. Yeah.
So Max has a CIA radio system, and it scans police bands, and he picks up a recording of the cold open deputy being wiped out by that flashing light. So Mulder and Scully go to meet the deputy's wife and son, who were staying at a FEMA camp in a school gym. I think if they sort of like told the town that they've told the town that there's a toxic spill, haven't they? So they evacuated the town while they get this alien craft out of there. Yeah. So the power goes down in the entire town, and this army SWAT team are instructed to search and destroy for whatever has escaped from this craft. A Libyan pilot, if you listen to Scully. It's like freaking...
Not only did he crash at 900 miles an hour, he survived, and now he's going around the world, the woods,
carrying that nuclear bomb that his fighter jet had. Scully. So this army SWAT team are all pretty much instantly wiped out by the alien in the flash of light that it does. Some of the survivors are taken to the hospital, and Scully stays to help them out while Mulder goes back to look for Max, and he finds Max having a seizure in his trailer.
Yeah, and just to add for any listeners, if you ever come across someone having a seizure, do not do anything that Mulder does in this scene, because I think in the 90s, early 90s specifically, this was the way you handle the seizure. But absolutely not at all. I mean, I don't know if you've had seizure training, but...
No, I haven't actually.
I come across a lot of seizure stuff. So I've had a lot of training with it, and you absolutely do not touch that person. You don't restrain them, you don't hold their head, you don't clamp their jaw.
Would you... Because I would have thought, when you tilt the head back to open the airway, would you even do anything? Just leave them completely?
You don't touch them at all. So if they're like next to... Like, say this guy, he's got like a cupboard, like an oven, whatever, next to him. You maybe put some pillows next to that so he doesn't bang himself into it. Yeah. But you basically just let them come through it. Let them come through it, yeah. And obviously, if you think they're starting to choke on anything or they stop breathing or anything, that's when you'd have like emergency medication like buccal and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was trained to administer buccal years ago, but I've never done it, and I wouldn't trust myself to do it now either.
Thankfully, I've never done it either. Never had to, but it's a scary ass thing. And yeah, so that was supposed to be more of a joke, like that Mulder's doing this, but it ended up being a little bit of learning moments from us here at the Dark Talk File. Yeah.
Well, yeah, so Mulder holds him completely incorrect now and brings him through it.
I was just going to say, but he does help him, and that is probably what you were taught back then to do as well.
And it's quite a nice moment for Mulder to just like he just looks so like helpful, and it's a nice thing for him to do. Yeah, very touching.
It shows.
It adds a lot to his character.
It does. It shows that he is a caring man. You know, he's so transfixed on like the government and conspiracies and aliens, but he is like an actual kind man who is willing to help anyone. Yeah. Like, imagine having this like guy who's essentially a stalker, who's following you around, breaking into your hotel room, and Mulder still wants to interact with him and stuff, and he saves him. Well, he doesn't save him, but he helps him, doesn't he?
Most American cops would just bust in there and like see him having a seizure and then just shoot him. So
he's coming right for us. This guy must be on drugs. Freeze!
Honestly, yeah.
Once Max has a lie down, because that is typically what happens after a seizure. It takes it all out of you. You have to lie down and go to sleep, pretty much.
Yeah.
Mulder discovers the triangle behind his ear, doesn't he?
He does. He notices the scar tissue behind Max's ear. And he connects it to previous X-Files where there was a similar implant behind the ear and concludes that Max is an abductee. Now, is that something we saw in the pilot? Where was the implant in the pilot? Was it behind the ear or was it up the nose? I just made that up. No, that's Total Recall where it's up the nose. Because there is...
because the end of the pilot shows the smoking man taking the implant to the giant Indiana Jones warehouse. But I don't know. I can't remember. They found it in the corpse, didn't they?
Yeah. But yeah, so basically, Mulder understands now that Max is an abductee.
Yeah. And Max also explains that he's had these blackout moments in his life where he doesn't remember stuff, and it's been put down to epilepsy, whereas we know that it's probably moments of being abducted and his memory being wiped. Yes.
So at the radar base, the man and the woman who are in charge of the equipment are both like, "Sir, there's a second larger craft approaching. It's in the same area as the first one." And the dude is like, "You mean there's a second meteor approaching?" And the woman's like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I meant a meteor, dickhead." So basically, Mulder has to return to DC, so he goes to say goodbye to Max, who has disappeared from his trailer. They hear on the radio that something's going down at the docks. And the army is chasing Max, and these two soldiers spot Max. They're driving this Jeep and they find him, and they're like, "There he is, get him!" And then when he comes back, they have been absolutely wiped out by, I'm going to assume, the bright white light, which just has been killing everybody in this thing. Mulder and Scully arrive at the docks, and they find Max holed up in a warehouse with the army outside, waiting to get him. Scully leaves the warehouse and gets captured, so it leaves Mulder, Max, and this alien being inside the warehouse. They've got like a predator vision. They can see Mulder and Max together, and then in the corner they can see this third thing sort of lurking behind these barrels.
Yeah. They're like, there's a third person in that room, and Scully's like, what the fuck?
So Mulder gets attacked by he gets fucking launched across this warehouse by the alien. It just, instead of like destroying him with a white light, it just throws him miles away, and he's like, "Oh!" Yeah. I think it didn't kill him because it knows that he's not a threat to Max. I think that's...
maybe he was just like... I don't know how it's supposed to work, but maybe it didn't get all of it, so it clipped him and sent him
just flying. Winged him.
Yeah, winged him.
Yeah, when Mulder wakes up, he finds Max floating in midair like fucking Connor McLeod in Highlander getting a quickening. He's like floated up in the air, limbs hanging down, looking up at the sky. His body is like glowing blue electricity.
Yeah, what a fucking great scene that is, though.
Great effects on that, yeah. And again, I was thinking, God, Scully, why are you outside?
I know, yeah. Scully, come and whip this, please. Hello.
Yeah. The army enter the warehouse. They find Max and the alien entity are gone, and Mulder's the only guy left, and the whole thing has basically just been one big cock-up. Even Scully is like, how can that be? Where did these other two things go? So even Scully's a bit baffled by this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the end of the action scenes of this episode. So we get Mulder's back in DC, and he's at a hearing, and his superiors are looking to tear him a new arsehole, and he's basically in like a kangaroo court. They're just gonna fire him. He knows that he's going, and he's like, "I'm surprised I lasted this long." You know, he doesn't care because he absolutely doesn't care, because like he's being a Fed is like second to him over his quest for the truth. You know, he can still do everything that he can do without being a Fed. You know, he's that talented.
Being a Fed is a conduit of some sort to just give him the ability to go and look at all this shit. He'd be doing it anyway, so he's getting paid to do it. So it's just like a win-win, really, isn't it?
Yeah, but and he's got a lot more resources as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. All I could think of during this scene was there's Mulder at one end, the others at the other end, and Mulder's like, you know that was an alien spacecraft. The typewriter's just there, like awkward. He's like, am I allowed to hear these government secrets? It's like, fucking hell.
Yeah, he goes into the meeting with this big fuck you attitude, and he just gets into this shouting match with Agent in Charge McGrath, who is Blevins' his boss. This is a high-ranking dude, and he's just like, he's like, you know, it was an alien, and he was like, they found his body in a barrel two days later, and he's like, how could I argue these lies if they've been officially stamped?
Great line that as well.
Yeah, it is. This guy McGrath, he's only in it for like 2 minutes, but fucking hell, he's. The guy plays this with such vitriol and hatred for Mulder. He's like, I'm gonna kill this guy.
He's been getting into character throughout the last 9 episodes. He's like, I'm gonna fuck him up. He is done for.
Yeah, so they do decide to fire Mulder because they've got, I think they're pretty justified in firing him. I'm going to say. It's broken all kinds of protocol and laws. But so Mulder has friends in high places. We get a sort of epilogue where McGrath goes to meet Deep Throat, and he calls Deep Throat Sir, so Deep Throat obviously outranks him. Deep Throat has pulled strings to keep Mulder in the FBI, so his work on the X-Files will continue. They sort of play it off as Deep Throat is like, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. We can manipulate Mulder while he's part of us, but I think that's just Deep Throat in his official role as part of the conspiracy. He's actually still helping Mulder. This isn't like a heel turn for Deep Throat. He's like still a good quote unquote good guy.
Without thinking too far ahead, I thought this was like a heel reveal. And
maybe it is.
Deep Throat is sort of, he's playing Mulder to try and. Like, he thinks that if Mulder's not under their control a little bit, he'll just go out and do this shit anyway. But I don't think that's true. I think if Mulder was out on his own doing this shit and he didn't have any ties to any powerful people, they'd just wipe him out, like, easily. Not in hand-to-hand combat, because I think Mulder would win, but I think they'd take Mulder out very easily. So, maybe you're right, actually.
I don't know. There's shades of grey. I think a bit of both are true, but I think this is just Deep Throat playing to his underlings. Yes, I am still evil.
Maybe he's playing both sides, like Mac and Sonny. I'm playing both sides. Yeah.
Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah.
So that was Fallen Angel. What did you think of that one?
Absolutely fucking loved it. Yeah, it was great. Myth arc, so that makes me super happy. I think all the acting was amazing. We had a fucking excellent amount of Mulder being as Muldery as he can be. And Scully being as Scully as she can be. I'd prefer it if they were both in it more. But definitely an excellent follow-on from the previous Myth Arc episodes. Dead excited to watch what's going to happen next with this part of the story. Excellent cast.
Well, you're going to be waiting a while.
Yeah, what was it, like another 8 episodes or something? Fuck, no. We get 2 or 3 in a row, I think, at the end, don't we? So
no.
That'll be nice. Do we not? No.
This is episode 10. We don't get another Myth Arc episode until the series finale in 14 episodes time.
So what I was also going to mention was, do you remember I spoke a few episodes ago about remembered an episode as a kid with an invisible thing running around the woods?
Yes, yeah.
I don't think this is it, because I remember it being more sleek, and it was more about the invisible thing rather than other parts of the story. But this is definitely a contender for that lost episode in my brain, you know. So it could be this, but I don't think it is. I think it's another one later on. A Monster of the Week episode. We shall see in about 5 years.
Or in the meantime, if any listeners know, just leave a comment under this this episode.
So basically it was very similar. Some invisible predator style being running around the woods, offing people. Very similar to this, but I think it was more sleek and more modern. It was a later episode, I think. I'm not sure, but somewhere the truth is out there.
Give me some trivia.
Okay, play the music. So, Max tells Mulder that he read Mulder's pseudonymous article in Omni magazine about the Gulf Breeze sightings. Omni was a real magazine that covered both science and science fiction. It was published in a hard copy edition between 78 and 95. The Gulf Breeze sightings were also real, air quotes. In late 1987, a Gulf Breeze, Florida resident, Ed Walters, claimed that he had seen and photographed an alien spacecraft near his home. Although some flying saucer enthusiasts found the photographs convincing, they were revealed as staged hoaxes several years later, when the new owners of Walter's old house found a model of a UFO identical to the one in the photos secreted in the house. This is discussed in the Gulf Breeze UFO incident 1996. Yep, that's cool. I don't recall that at all, so I might look into that one.
Yeah, I know that story, yeah. Infamous hoax.
This is, actually, I've got an infamous hoax for you from when we were in primary school. So a lad that we were in school with, I won't name his name, he had, what a fucking weird guy. He had drawn out like a UFO drawing, like a silhouette, and he taped it to his window of his living room, and he took about 4 photos of it, and he brought them into primary school and showed everyone, trying to convince them that it was a UFO.
Was that...
Yes, sound of it. Next bit. This is the first episode that references the line, "Trust no one." Yeah. As Scully looks around inside Max Fennick's trailer, the first shot of what she sees is some shelves holding electronic equipment and some books, including one titled The Other, which has an image of a grey alien on the cover. The object just to the left of the book is a piece of test equipment, an ICO Model 950 resistance capacitance comparator bridge. Fuck, why did this do this to me? On the shelf, it was a piece of test equipment. On the shelf below, the larger radio is an amateur ham radio transceiver capable of transmission on the amateur HF bands with a general coverage receiver covering 0.1 to 30 MHz. The smaller radio on top of it appears to be a CB radio. Fucking hell, I wish I'd have read that before I started reading that out. Yeah, and we have one last bit which says the character of Matt Fennig would return to the series in season 4 in the episode Tempus Fugit and Max 1997. I didn't know that. How fucking insane.
Look forward to seeing him again.
Definitely. I thought he'd died. I thought he'd gone. In his Marty McFly costume. Thought he'd fucked off to the future or something. Or the past. Yeah. So that is the trivia of the week.
Thank you for that trivia, Paul. Have you got a spooky story for us this week as well? You'll
never believe it, Dan. Oh, yes, I do.
Is this a UFO-related story?
I have got 2, and I will try and keep them brief. So, I was wondering about invisible cryptids, right? So, I found a Reddit thread, and someone explains cryptid. And I will try and get these pronunciations correct, because they're a bit fucking mental. So, it's called the Baycock, also known as Padguk. He's from the Algonquinian mythology. Sorry if I fucked that up, but I definitely did. Well known in tribes around the Great Lakes region. Once he was the greatest hunter who ever lived, but on his final hunt he got lost in the endless woods and starved to death, far from civilization. His fury at such a pitiful end to his life carried him straight through death and into something else. Now he wanders the great woods of North America, a horrifying creature that looks little more than a skeleton with a thin layer of sallow skin stretched over its bones and a lank black hair hanging from his skull. He can fly, turn invisible, fire invisible poisonous arrows. Instead of wolves or bears, his prey is now humans. In some version, there are many undead creatures like him, created from other hunters. There's a lot more to it.
Sounds like the fucking White Walkers from Game of Thrones.
It does, actually. I've never heard of that, and I've heard of a decent amount of cryptids and mythology type thing. So I will leave that there, because if anyone's interested, they can look that up, can't they? They don't need to hear all that much about it. So the next bit that I found was it's an Ask Me Anything from a person who was abducted by aliens. So their story goes like this. I already know the negative reaction this is going to get, and if you don't believe me, that's fine, because a few years ago I would never have believed me either. For obvious reasons, I can't provide proof. If I could, scientists would be a buzz. Here are the basics of my experience. It happened about 3 years ago out in a rural part of Virginia. I don't remember it like a real memory, but more like a dream. That being said, no, I was not asleep. I was driving home from a friend's house when it happened. I can remember vaguely what they looked like and a few other things. When my memory kicks back in, I'm sitting outside the car on the side of the road. I have never told police and never plan on it. I would just be laughed at or put in the nut house. I have been wanting to do this AMA for a while to just get off my chest, so question away. And then someone has asked, can you describe the incident along with the aliens or their spacecraft? The aliens, I remember as looking rather reptilian. They weren't your cliche big heads, grey skin, but they were bipedal. The craft, I don't remember. I don't rightly remember, apart from the inside being very smooth with a very bright light above me. It is scary to think about, but I do remember a few things they did to me. I wore a mask of some sort and they pulled hairs. There was a minute buzzing, I recall, and a thing over the top of my head. There were several of them. When I woke up, I was fully clothed beside my car on the same road I was travelling on when I last remembered. I had no scars or puncture marks, so I don't think they injected me or anything. And I'm going to leave it there because this will literally go on forever. But what do you think about that, Danielle?
I don't know. I'm always like really skeptical of these ones that are they've just got all the same stuff you'd see in a film. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It sounds fan fiction-y to me. So I'm going to have a thumbs down for this one. I do not believe that story.
Dan is our resident Scully over here. Doesn't believe shit.
No. It's like I've mentioned earlier, I'm agnostic on this. And if I do believe something, if the evidence points that way, yes, I will go for it.
But how are you ever going to believe anything when it's just the only proof or the only evidence is someone's memory of it? They're never going to be able to prove it.
No, I know, but like if the story didn't have a load of tropes that are in every other UFO story, then I would believe it more. I'd be more inclined to believe it. They can't provide any evidence because these are old Reddit stories, so I've just got to go on what they're saying. So like, and you've told me ones in the past, I thought, yeah, that sounds like it could be real.
I don't know. I don't know. I might read the rest of the thread to see if there's any more. But as you say, it is very stereotypical. I don't think I believe. However, I won't. I was going to ask though, what are your favourite kind of aliens? Do you like alien greys? Do you like reptilians? Do you like
I like
space ghosts?
I like the classic greys, but I also like the I like them all, but I like the Mothman, which I consider to be an alien. That kind of shit.
Okay.
I suppose I'm more into cryptids than aliens.
I'm not a cryptid fan.
The Flatwoods monster. That's my favourite alien.
Alright, I'll look.
Have you ever seen it?
No, I don't think so. No.
It looks fucking ridiculous.
Alright. I do like a classic green alien, big head, green, like a grey, but in green, a green grey,
like a Mars Attacks alien.
No, not like they're like a Martian, aren't they? Like a green alien, like a
that one from that Simpsons episode where they're at the army base and they open the warehouse door and there's this tiny little grey alien and he runs at him and they're like, "Look out! He's got his probe!"
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I'd probably say yeah. Ooh, I tell you what, I do like the Men in Black, not the film, the actual stories of the Men in Black.
You love Will Smith, don't you?
No, not at all. I'm like Will Smith's wife. I don't love him. Oh, who's that? That's Tom Cruise, Bowen, and Will Smith that are going to be on us now. Right. So that was Fallen Angel. I'm going to have to correct myself because I'm going to look like an idiot now. I said we're not going to get a Myth Arc episode until the series finale. No, episode 17 is a Myth Arc episode, EBE. So we got 7 episodes.
Fucking idiot. What an idiot.
I know. I'm hanging my head in shame.
That's amazing. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the rest of them, obviously. But definitely hyped for the Myth Arcs.
Yeah, so that was Fallen Angel. What are you going to do? Thumbs up? I think we're both thumbs up on this one.
Big thumbs up. This is top 3, I would say. Top 3 of all of them. It's the best official Myth Arc episode so far, I would say.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, I would agree. Sick. So that was Fallen Angel. We'll be back next episode with episode 11, Eve. Do you remember this one?
Not from the name. I've definitely seen it, obviously, but I don't want to. No, I don't want to know. I like to go it blind and remember as it happens.
So thank you for listening to the Dark Talk Files. We'll see you next time. Goodbye and good night.
Goodbye.